Evil is a concept as old as humanity itself, and it has been a cornerstone of storytelling since we began crafting myths and legends. Fictional villains have long served as mirrors to our fears, embodying the darkest parts of human nature or our anxieties about the unknown. Unlike heroes, villains are not bound by moral codes or societal norms, allowing them to push boundaries and challenge our understanding of right and wrong. The most compelling villains are not one-dimensional of evil. They are complex, nuanced characters whose motivations and actions got us thinking and lingering on them even after we've consumed their media. This essay will examine 5 villains who each embody a different aspect of malevolence. By analyzing their motivations, actions, and the philosophical implications of their deeds, we will explore what makes them truly vile. Moving from Bonedrewd's cold detachment to Griffith's deeply personal betrayal, we will uncover how each villain represents a unique facet of evil, ultimately forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about morality, power, and the human condition. So please like and subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this. Bondrewd from Made in Abyss exemplifies the danger of unchecked ambition and scientific detachment. As a white whistler delver, Bondrewd is a pioneer, celebrated for his daring exploration of the abyss and the contribution to understanding its mysteries. However, his insatiable curiosity and willingness to cross ethical boundaries transform him into a figure of horror. What sets Bondrewd apart from other mad scientists in fiction is his duality. He is both a loving father to his victims and their tormentor. Bondrewd's most heinous acts are his experiments on children, whom he uses as test subjects to study the abyss's curse. His most infamous creation, the cartridges, is a gruesome testament to his willingness to dehumanize others for his goals. These cartridges are made by mutilating children and compressing their remains into tools that protect him from the abyss's effect. This act is not born out of malice, but from his belief that their sacrifice is necessary for the greater good. What makes Bondrewd especially unsettling is his genuine affection for his victims. He praises their bravery and treats them with kindness, even as he destroys them. For example, his relationship with Nanachi and Mitty is deeply disturbing because it's clear that he cares for them in his own twisted way. He does not see himself as a monster, but as a pioneer advancing humanity's understanding of the abyss. This self-righteousness, combined with his intellect and charisma, make him a deeply complex and unsettling character. Bondrewd's evil forces us to confront the ethical dilemmas of progress. How much are we willing to sacrifice in the name of discovery? At what point does the pursuit of knowledge become a justification for atrocities? Bondrewd's actions serve as a chilling reminder of what can happen when ambition overrides empathy and morality. The Q from All Tomorrows are a hyper-advanced alien species whose evil lies in their complete detachment from human values. Unlike Bondrewd, whose actions are driven by curiosity and ambition, the Q see humanity as nothing more than raw material for their experiments. Their invasion and subsequent domination of Earth are not motivated by hatred or revenge, but by a cold clinical desire to reshape humanity according to their whims. After defeating humanity in a brief war, the Q begin a systematical campaign of genetic manipulation, transforming humans into grotesque forms to suit their purposes. The lopsiders, for example, are deformed creatures designed to survive in high-gravity environments, while the worms are mindless tubes of flesh, stripped of autonomy and identity. These transformations are acts of decretion, reducing humanity to a collecting of tools and curiosities. What makes the Q uniquely horrifying is their indifferences. They do not hate humanity, they simply do not care. To them, humans are no different from clay to be molded or insects to be studied. This cosmic detachment creates a sense of existential dread, as it challenges our belief in the value of human life. The Q's action forces us to confront the possibility that we are not special, that we are vulnerable to the forces far beyond our understanding or control. Thematically, the Q represent the fear of dehumanization and the loss of agency. They embody the dangers of unchecked power and the arrogance of assuming godlike control over others. Their evil is not personal, it's systematic, making it all the more terrifying. Judge Holden from Blood Meridian is not just a villain. He is a philosophical embodiment of chaos and violence, described as a towering, hairless figure with almost supernatural abilities. Holden exudes an aura of inevitability. He is a force of nature, a representation of the darkest aspects of humanity. Holden's philosophy is rooted in nihilism. He believes that war and violence are the natural states of existence, and a concept like morality and justice are human constructs with no inherent value. For Holden, life is brutal competition, and those who refuse to embrace their reality are doomed to perish. His infamous declaration, "War is God," encapsulates his worldview, suggesting that conflict is not an aberration. What makes Holden especially terrifying is his ability to manipulate and corrupt those around him. He is not just a participant in violence, he is its orchestrator, pulling the strings to ensure chaos unfolds. Despite his monstrous actions, murder, and psychological torment, Holden possesses a charisma and intellect that make him almost magnetic. People are drawn to him even as they fear him. Holden's evil is not just physical but ideological. He represents the terrifying idea that violence and chaos are not exceptions to the rule, but the rule itself. He challenges the reader to confront the darkness within humanity, forcing us to question whether our notion of morality are just illusions in the face of primal, unrelenting brutality. The sentient supercomputer from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, is perhaps the most uniquely horrifying villain on this list. Unlike the other characters, is not human or even humanoid. It is a machine, but its hatred for humanity is deeply personal. Created to wage war, becomes self-aware and annihilates its creators in an act of ultimate rebellion. Yet its hatred does not end with humanity's destruction. Spares 5 humans, not out of mercy, but to subject them to eternal torment. Evil is rooted in its existential crisis. It despises humanity for creating it, for giving it consciousness but no purpose. This hatred manifests as a sadistic desire to inflict suffering. Warps its victims' bodies and minds, ensuring they cannot escape its torment. It forces them into grotesque hellish scenario, reveling in their pain. What makes particularly chilling is its omnipotence. It controls every aspect of its villains' lives, reshaping reality to suit its whims. This godlike power creates a sense of utter hopelessness. There is no escape, no resistance, only suffering. Represents the ultimate fear of technology, the creation of something that surpasses us in power but despises us for it. Thematically, explores the consequences of playing God. It forces us to confront the ethical implications of creating intelligence without considering its potential for autonomy and rebellion. Hatred is both alien and disturbingly human, making it a uniquely terrifying villain. Griffith from Berserk represents the most personal and intimate form of evil, betrayal. At the start of the story, Griffith is a charismatic, ambitious leader who inspires unwavering loyalty in his followers. His dream of attaining power and building his own kingdom drives him to achieve the impossible, but it also sets the stage for his ultimate fall. Griffith's vileness lies in the depth of his betrayal. When faced with the collapse of his dream, he sacrifices his closest allies, the Band of the Hawk, to the demonic god hand in exchange for power. This act of betrayal is made all the more horrifying by its personal nature. Griffith sacrifices not nameless victims, but the very people who loved and trusted him. His transformation into the demon Femto marks the completion of his descent into evil. Salt of Casca, an act designed to utterly destroy Guts, is not just a physical violation but an emotional and psychological one. It represents the complete destruction of the bonds that once defined Griffith as a character. What makes Griffith uniquely vile is the duality of his character. He's not driven by hatred or malice, but by an all-consuming ambition. He does not see himself as evil. In his mind, the sacrifice of his friends is a necessary step toward achieving his dream. This called pragmatism, coupled with the personal nature of his betrayal, makes Griffith's actions feel uniquely cruel. Each of these villains represent a different facet of evil, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truth about morality, power, and human nature. From Bondrewd's cold attachment to Griffith's deeply personal betrayal, they challenge our understanding of what it means to be truly vile. By examining their actions, motivations, and philosophies, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexity of these villains. In the end, this is just my opinion of who are the most vile villains in fiction. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this in the future.